everyone, it's Mr. Flying Pig HD here with a match reaction for you for the Zorya Luhansk game where Manchester United have just beaten them 1-0 at Old Trafford in the Europa League. Come on, my son, have some of that, you bunch of Ukrainian farmers. I'm just kidding. They gave a good account of themselves, actually. Manchester United were very lacklustre. It was quite a boring game of football. Not the best game of football I've ever seen, not the most penetrative or productive from Manchester United, certainly not the most entertaining. Quite dull, in fact, but we did get the breakthrough in the form of Zlatan Ibrahimovic getting on the end of a Wayne Rooney scuffed attempt, which was just the worst bit of skill I've ever seen in my life, but it actually led to a goal. There's no way Wayne Rooney meant to do that. It was a scuffed effort, but he's provided the assist shortly after coming off the bench to make an instant impact, really. So fair play to you, Wayne. Your Shrek fairy tale continues. But the game of football today, I mean, not a fantastic display, not a sterling performance from us. Zorya Luhansk came to United. They looked dangerous on the counter-attack. We dominated the game in possession and play as you would expect in the first half. Marouane Fellaini's had a couple of good header opportunities. But as you would expect, wayward from the lad. Thought he actually put in a decent shift today all round, winning stuff in the air and breaking things up in the centre of the park. Fair play to you, Marouane. Always a danger up there with that massive planet-sized noggin of his. But unfortunately today, he couldn't convert any of those chances. In the first half as well, Marcus Rashford had a really great chance, a rifling effort, which just hit the underside of the bar and bounced about, maybe about that far, just from the goal line, very close to being a goal there. So unfortunate for him. He's probably my man of the match. He made stuff happen. He ran, he worked, he ran back, he tackled, he challenged. He was an absolute phenom tonight, Marcus Rashford. And bearing in mind, he's the youngest player on the pitch. He is just such a prospect for Manchester United for the future and for now. He's going to be a huge player. First name on the team sheet for me, Marcus Rashford. Probably my man of the match. If not him, then, you know, Bailey's had a solid game at the back there, making all sorts of nice blocks and challenges and just winning everything in the air. Eric Bailly, really good performance from him. Him and Smalling doing a decent job there at the back, but not a lot to do. Zorya Luhansk looked dangerous as the game went on, and on the counter-attack they did cause us some problems. Could have been a different story for Manchester United tonight on a number of ways because Zorya had some good chances and Manchester United almost looked like we weren't going to be able to convert our chances that we had worked so very, very hard to create so few. I mean, up until the goal, this is how shit we were actually. Up until the goal, Zlatan Ibrahimovic's goal, up until that point, Manchester United had 0 freaking shots on target. Eh? What? Against a bunch of freaking plumbers? It's not acceptable really, is it, lads and lasses? And Zorya had 1 attempt on target, so they were getting the better of us in those terms anyway. But it was all really one-way traffic apart from a couple of counter-attacks which were dangerous from Zorya. And as the game went on, they piled the pressure on. United looked a little bit ropey. But we've won the game. Going through the team, I mean, Marcus Rojo's put in another invisible performance. Not so sure if he's up to standard. Very disappointed with his contribution. Smalling was solid. Bailly was good. I enjoyed Bailly's contribution to the game. Timothy Fosu-Mensah, pretty hit and miss. Did get down the right flank on a number of occasions. His final ball was off today. Not a great performance from Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Pogba in the centre of the park. Sorry, Paul. I know you're a top player. You certainly were last season. Expensive player. The most expensive player ever to grace this earth that we call Earth. And he still didn't put in a good performance against a bunch of supermarket workers, did he? No. So disappointing for Paul Pogba after a good performance in the last game. He's got to get his head up. Got to start doing it consistently. All the time, because £89 million, you've got to be a match winner. You've got to put in great shifts. You've got to set your teammates up numerous of times, have lots of attempts. That's the sort of box-to-box midfielder we need. And against Zorya Luhansk today, Paul Pogba was not that. So very disappointed again with Paul Pogba. Marouane Fellaini, as I mentioned earlier, had a couple of chances, wayward. But other than that, decent all-round performance from him, who does have a place in the squad for me. He shouldn't be starting any game in my opinion, but he does have a place in the squad, certainly in the Europa League and in the League Cup and shit like that. Marcus Rashford, fantastic. Juan Mata, you know, bit of an invisible performance from Juan Mata by his very high standards, but I love a bit of Juan action. He should certainly be starting the next game for me. You know, you can't base it just on that one performance here, but quite a quiet game from him. Then you had Jesse Lingard playing, who I thought did okay, but again, another quiet performance from Jesse Lingard after a good performance. Hopefully he can, you know, get his head up again and start doing it consistently. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic up top, our man to get the goal. He looked very dangerous throughout. He only had a few opportunities. He was just feeding off scraps. He's working his socks off. But he had a couple of good opportunities and he scored one of them. He converted the assist from Wayne Rooney when Wayne Rooney came on the pitch. Fair play to you, Wayne, like I said earlier, but you know, again, to me, shouldn't be coming on. I know that's crazy because he got the assist, but I wouldn't have brought him on personally. That's just my opinion. He is a United legend. He does still have stuff to offer Manchester United, and he's got a lot to prove. And these are games where he's going to have to come on. He's going to have to prove it in a short amount of time. He's come on. He's been effective. That's all you can really ask for. But there we have it. We've beaten Zorya Luhansk. Not the most exciting game of football I've ever witnessed in my life. Fair play to them. We've got our Europa League campaign underway now with a big victory. We did some working out during the live stream of how much Zorya Luhansk is worth. And we came to the conclusion that Zorya Luhansk are valued at about the same as Marouane Fellaini's left nut. You know, we did the math there. We said Marouane Fellaini's left nut probably counts for about 3% of his body mass. 3%, 26 million. You know, we came up with a very similar figure for Zorya Luhansk. So we barely beat a team worth less than Marouane. Fellaini's left nutbag. Thanks very much for watching this video. This is Mr. Flying Pig HD. Chuck a like on it. Subscribe to the channel for upcoming videos. If you were watching the live stream, it had a few technical issues, but they'll be addressed for the game against Stoke City. Make sure you tune in for that. Have yourself a good one. Thanks for watching. Come on, United!